Obia or say Bamba say any intelligence maybe I can't largely the culture say a lot of it before we do something so we are or us any the other may call it no not said why you Bamba who start here actually you have a lot of networks we experience certainly you are within the system, you understand how the system works. But for share, you're kind of saying these two people, I know they started work technically as part of the security setup when the NPP Nanado, the president, and some of them came into the fold. If you check it profile now, share that any critical maybe on my year in the past. Apart from one of them who was involved in South Africans, yeah, say 2015 or 16. You can't say they are mercenaries. And so one, I think it's as many or so who is purported to have brought them.
Yes, so many.
He's supposed to have been facing prosecution. I'm not sure whether he was convicted, but be as it may, he ended up still working his way through probably the Dankwa Institute and coming up to the work. And so because I am not sure the president, I'm not sure on whose advice, and I'm the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, or decided to appoint these two persons who technically don't have too much experience with, national security activities, who head the foremost intelligence organizations, the national, Intelligence Bureau and the national security itself. It begs the question. So as far as I'm concerned, it's difficult to second guess the president.
Doc, the constitution men kind of there, but so all our security personnel experts that position is it a sole reserve at the or more security background and I say proper security background now to me a car could do sa top war and any other person now only security background can every chamber boss.
Oh, so I say you can say Pakawose who minimum now multimedia and a regular. Being share their name or background there that you've been the fact that you have even worked with multimedia for a very long time. Interviewed some of us and all that will sometimes tell all of us, hey, yeah, now you one called GIB and I say any communication school, you've learned the rudiments of journalism by practicing journalism for a while. And so if you are interviewing me today, then it will be because it is a school. And I will see I only and I was on the field. And I was saying I know at my level, it is difficult for me to sometimes speak to some media houses and their presenters because sometimes you know that either they are inexperienced or they don't have what it takes to sometimes interview you into one year security in some they would pose some leading question what can be then you find yourself. So what I am to answer you directly, you cannot actually go and bring a marketer to come and be a medical doctor, and you can't do that. You can't go and bring Obia Sebi or University of Ghana Business School, so University of Ghana Medical Center, and to come for any war. It's not possible. So all that I am saying is that security is even more technical than you're kind of saying medicine. Security is very technical. And so my point is that if the analogy I have just rolled out is anything to go by, then you want to go into the panel Can you tell me a bit more an idea or as many and what was it? Heads of these two August institutions. As we speak, when you come to the security services, there's something we call the command and control structure. The command and control structure is so important in the security service, or there will be mutiny. Because of mutiny, instructions will not be followed. Who issue instructions say, they will not go. And so, look at it today. Why do you think the president appointed Ura Dampari to IGP? We appointed him because most of the people who are today under Dampari, Peter Dampari was ahead of them. And I said they would have sat in the same class. But Dampari ne score during examination at the undercadet was better than them. And you be our take security as the other country said. We know that we are the same GIG. We are the same GIG. But the fact that I had probably first class and you had second class upper, my number will be different from your number, even though we are the same course mate.
Sure.
It means that when it comes to promotion, when it comes to some of these things, when there will be we've done very well during evaluation at that point. But there will be something that will differentiate me from the rest. And so maybe the other side, when you go into the military, it is the same. When you go to fire service. And so even though these are political appointments, the command and control structure must be respected.
Looking at the allegations from one senior man Martin Amidu, say, anyway, they are not fit to be there. Now, one of the OGD say, Nana do Chimu Po say, Obevia 2024 Abanimuno. Because Osha current situation and all the services are bad. I'm like, isn't by a drink. So, all the services are bad from this year, January to August, women now. Say, to a banda, I go for a bind belusu. Every Savia baby, I say, I go for a bind ebelusu, say, ye kotoaba ende. And Nana the name what I can say, 2008. Breaking 8 no. Need to know because of that you need to know. And a person we abandon in 2024. So the will be breaking 8 and MPP are buying. We share this allegation from Yevra Martin Amidu no. And based on what you said no. No question no.
It's difficult. Yesterday when I spoke to some of the media houses, these are very wild allegations, very sensitive issues.
Yeah, very, very wild allegation.
And without any substance. A very thing said, because the president doesn't run elections, national security, they don't run elections. Elections, according to Atuguba, Justice Atuguba retired, it's won
at the police station. Right.
And so if that's, if anybody who is conducting research, if you pick up what Atuguba and Co wrote, will point to the fact that who lose election, coalition center announce a strong room, it will be at the polling station. And so maybe the other said, well, these are allegations that perhaps needs to be investigated because then you see elections is everything.
Why they investigate? It needs to be investigated. Why they investigate?
Needs to be. I mean, the president. In any case, the president he has been cited for, probably going to ensure say the bill happening. So you can Parliament. We have parliamentary select committees. And I'm
Johnny.
Parliamentary select committees, and Parliament is one of the arms, one of the important arms of government. That constitute, you can say, a committee to try and go into the appointment of these persons. By so doing, or by extension, you better what is his profile? Now, you share from 1992. Position to be watching about the head. What will make this Ora Asumeni Atoba and Co to head this institution? Do they come anywhere closer? Or what's a comfort happening? Nipa no aye ka so ma me national security no wa chi obi asabi what we are obi for their thing what to me then what to me aye enenti omampani edene aba ho. So if we get to that point and there is nothing to show say bia o metumi aye bibia sombo chia you can say the position ya mo then you can say the conspiracy theory, that is what I want to call it, from Mura, what is his name?
Amidu.
Is something worth considering. To say Apietu, you know, Apietu actually investigated the serial killings in this country. I'm sure you know. So, Usha IGP Biawaba, Obetumia appointed Bia, and Sumbu and the year before the IGP. Ufa CDS Biawaba, Obetumia appointed. So all these people would have something that in India, the publications, they say the research, the intelligence, said you only amount for your Juma, and they said you only the other agencies near Juma, the duration is about to and yes, sir. I got a friend spread the call. It is usually among security, among the security service. You know, you have now that grandstanding, you have people disagreeing. You issue instructions, they will not follow it, and all that. So, as far as I'm concerned, I will not want to second guess the president because these are allegations or conspiracy theory from Amidu. I will not say it's true, and I have no reason to also say it is not true because I don't know where he's getting his facts from. But what I know is that even I had issues with them because they also were superintending over a lot of works. And now you can say, Galamsey, now we say national security. And you know, a group that did after the national security officer. The Nipalinia Katamanto, coach, even no Sheno Yapota. Now, Udu Chobana, so Ubia, they are more about national security. That is not national security. So some of us over the period have said, national security officer, they are government, maintain one. Enka, Nipani said, Obeshanen, Kawa, kind. Me obituary, of course, one of say, Nipa went to or your national security. But let me know, Nipa your national security. It's not true, one of your national security officer. So these are some of the things some of us kept complaining about. But you see, the president has taken a decision. We would have to see what happens next, if you ask me.
Doc, Madam was another person.